Well, hello everyone and welcome to IR Photo Tours. Today we are going to be talking about this and this, and we're going to do a V comparison. Yeah baby, after this. Here we are. Wonderful Happisburgh. Wonderful Happisburgh. Ross, how are you?
Very good, very good.
Bloody good show. I come all the way down here and here you are. I'm here to fly my drone. What about you?
I'm here to fly a drone too.
What drone have you got, bud?
The Air 2S.
No way. We are now going to evaluate your brand new drone, which is the Air 2S, and we're going to put it up against my Mavic Air 2 and see what differences there are. He's already set up, look. Hey? Nice and quick to set up. Oh, and look at that. That is what you call a nice camera, isn't it? Well, that's a full 1-inch sensor on there, isn't it? So that's going to capture a lot more light. That's the Mavic Air 2. Mavic Air 2, look at that. And this is the Mavic Air 2S. Now, size comparison, there really isn't much in it at all. I did notice, like I say, the S2, the Air 2S, I'll get that right in a minute, has the top sensors, which is quite cool, and it has these fangly, spangly orange tips. Woohoo! And mine has boring old silver tips. There you go. But there's something to be noted here. If you are really wanting to move over from this drone to the 2S, it may be worth the upgrade for the 1-inch sensor. If you find that we're going to have a little comparison tonight. We've come here for sunset. We're a few hours before sunset for this tutorial, right? Well, not tutorial, this little video now. However, we did notice, or actually I should say Ross has actually told me, that this battery that goes on the 2S and this battery that goes on the Mavic Air 2, they are identical. So if you were to upgrade from the Mavic Air 2 up to the Mavic Air 2S, and you wanted to keep the Mavic Air 2 as well, and you had loads of these batteries, you wouldn't have to buy any more batteries for the S2, the 2S even. I'll get that right way around in a minute. But that's the case. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm glad they've done that. It's a bit like Canon's 5D series. They never changed the battery in them, did they? So you ended up with quite a lot of batteries, yep, which was fantastic, you know. So it's a bit more professional for a start, especially when you go into a wedding. You've got a shed load of batteries there with you. Great backups. As you can see, I've got a filter on mine. I'm sure you can get a filter system for this, and the filter system is now being poked in front of me by Ross, and that is it. And what do we have there? We have the ND 4, 8, 16 and 32.
And they also do another lot for obviously brighter light. So
Ross, I mean, what are you thinking so far then?
I haven't even flown it yet. I've been waiting for you.
This is its virgin flight.
It is indeed, yes.
It is its virgin flight. Wow.
So let's hope it works. Otherwise, it'll be really embarrassing.
Oh yeah, that's the most embarrassing video ever. I'll get the impression I'm going to be crying because this one will be doing much better than mine. I think.
I don't know.
You don't know.
We'll see.
That half-inch extra.
Well, half
you know, come on.
Important, I suppose.
The other thing as well, just to mention, there is no difference whatsoever between the controllers. They are both exactly the same, and they are going to be exactly the same, even with the phones on. Because what phone have you got, Ross?
The S21 Ultra.
And what have I got, Ross?
The S21 Ultra.
I was a little bit concerned when I did upgrade my phone this year, whether that Ultra was going to actually fit into that controller, and it does beautifully, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a job fine.
So it does. It's amazing, and it's a lovely size screen as well for flying, and it's a bright screen as well. So the Ultra is a fantastic combination for the flight controls there. So wonderful. So we'll log off right now, and we'll see you in a minute. Right, guys, here we are. This is the it is the Air 2S sitting there on the floor, looking glorious, and looking very similar to my Mavic Air 2, to be fair, but without the 1-inch sensor. Now we have done some, I'm going to say this now, we have done some video footage in D-Log on this, which is quite interesting. Is it D-Log? Yep. Ross? Yeah, so D-Log. And so we could have a look at that footage as well, and show you the D-Log and how I can convert the D-Log into a nice log or a nice video. So firstly, we're going to take off. We are going to look into doing video. Now, video, to make it fair, we are going to do video in MOV mode. We are going to do 4K, and we are going to do 4K in 60 frames per second, which is what they can both do, and that give it a nice cinematic kind of feel to it. So here we go. Right, getting ready to take off. So
take off.
So I'm going to take off. We are in normal mode.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
So I'm not going to go too high because it is a little bit foggy. So I am at 15 meters, and 1 meter away now. We're going away. So we just turn around slightly, have a little look. Now that is foggy. This is not the best time, to be fair. I can't see much at all. So I'm at 14 meters in height, and I've got to be honest, that's quite atmospheric actually. It looks like the old horror film that I've watched before. I put a link down below what that horror film is. But anyway, that's 15 meters. We'll go up a little bit more. We'll go to 20 meters, and we'll try and keep an eye on the lighthouse there. And we are filming, like I say, in 60 frames a second, so it's a very cinematic like feel to it. It's in 4K, and of course the image quality is in RAW and JPEG. So we'll stop filming, and what we're going to do is put it into a few things like let's do photos, for example. So in photos we can have single, so we're going to take a single shot. There you go. Okay, and that's a nice wide angle single shot. We're going to do all this in standard modes. We've got a smart photo, so we're to take a smart photo. Now, if you want all the technicalities behind smart and all these other things, then go to another YouTube channel, because this is about comparing the quality of images and video between this and the Mavic Air 2. This is not a technical review in any shape or form, and that was a 5 bracketed shot, or should we say a HDR. And last of all, we have a 7 bracketed shot, so we're going to do that. So you've got another option there of a 2nd bracketed shot. Okay, so we've done that. So we've got all the shoot modes we got there, and then we go to video. And in video we can do normal, or we can do slow-mo. So we've got slow-mo there. Now there's nothing really to slow-mo, to be fair. We've got a bank of fog, but there you go. Anyway, so everyone knows what the slow-mo is. It's a very nice 120 frame slow-mo. And if you come down to the bottom here, you'll see it's in 1080 at 120 frames a second. It hasn't got what the Mavic Air 2 has got, which is 240 frames a second. I think it's because of the size of the sensor. So there are variations between certain things in this, in the S2 and the Mavic Air, the Mavic 2. Air 2. God, so confusing, isn't it? Anyway, well, let's go to master shots. Master shots is where, well, again, we can do like circulating around the lighthouse, for example. So let's start that, but I don't think I'm going to physically carry on with it. So it gives you lots of functions here. Check out subject area and flight route. It will give you tap to set flight route parameters. So example, you can do up to 2 minutes, or you can do and you tap estimated flight time. Yes, 2 minutes. Sorry, and then we can go for the width. We can go width medium, length medium, or height medium. Okay, so you can do all sorts of different scenarios here. Tap to take quick shot. So let's do that. Let's see what happens. Adjusting aircraft position, and it's getting chilly out here.
I don't know how shaky your camera footage is going to be because my hands are shaking.
Well, funnily enough, it seems like a DJI fest today, doesn't it? Because we've got the Pocket 2 and we're filming on the Pocket 2. Right, I'm going to stop that because I've actually lost your drone. It's gone to 44 meters up. Well, we don't want that when we're in the clouds. So let's go forward, and I can see the lighthouse again. So we won't go too far today. We are literally 243 meters away, and I can literally just see it. So we don't really want to go any further than that. So anyway, moving on, we have got quick shot. Everyone knows what quick shot is. Let's not go there. We can go 25 meters, 30 meters, 35 meters, 40 meters, all the way up to 120 meters. So you can go up to the maximum height that you're allowed anyway. So that will just slingshot out. The drone will slingshot out and give you an amazing image. So we've got high flaps as well. No point in this fog, sadly. And then we've got panoramic. We can do panoramic. Let's do a panoramic. That'd be interesting, because that's something that the Mavic 2 certainly has. In fact, that'd be quite nice actually, wouldn't that? That'd give it quite a mystical feel. Just taking the shots. I actually think this is a little bit slower than the Mavic Air 2 taking the shots, but then you kind of accept that being a double the size sensor. Yeah, it does seem quite slow in taking the shots. I don't know whether that's a bad thing, good thing, or what. I suppose if the clouds are moving quite quickly, it might be a bit of a struggle for the software to process the panoramic. I don't know. The quicker it is, the better, I think. But that'd be a massive file as well. So, what's the actual file size of the Mavic Air 2? Is it 12 megapixels still, or is it 20?
20 megapixel. Yeah,
20 megapixel images. What else have we got? So that's all the functions for photos. And in panoramic, of course, you can do 180, you can do wide angle, you can do all sorts. So let's do a 180 shot in there. I have to say, just looking at the screen on this lovely Samsung Ultra, I have to say, the quality of image that I'm seeing in front of my eyes, just in raw image, does look rather tasty. It does look rather tasty. And it is looking better. Well, I can see, just by using mine for a long time, I can see the quality is better. It is definitely better. Yeah, that is quality, man. Wow, that is quality. You wait until I get mine out. You just remember that quality, okay? Because that is really nice. But it does take a while for processing, obviously, because it's a bigger sensor. More information. Go for wide angle. Let's do a wide angle shot. And we're going to do all of this with the Mavic Air 2 as well, as long as the weather holds out, which is looking quite frankly a bit worrying. for a video like this.
Visibility is about 2 meters, so we can still see you.
So this might not be a comparison. This might just be about the Mavic 2 S. Who knows? We'll see. It's all exciting stuff, isn't it? Will this video get to the very end, or won't it? Who knows? Will we be bogged in? Right. So now we're doing another panoramic, which is the last panoramic, which is up all the way up, which is like what I call a portrait panoramic, where it goes up, steps up. It doesn't go side to side. So let's give that a go. And that's it. Yes, that's what I expected. So you're getting 3 landscape images on top of each other. So you're getting 3 of them. I would be quite happy to come home now in the fog. But what it has got is, like we said, it's got slow motion, but that hasn't got 240 slow motion, 240 frames per second. It has 120 frames a second. So there's that. That's the difference there. And what was the other difference? 4K, right? 4K, it will crop at 30 frames a second. Anything above 30 frames, it will crop. So that 4K will crop, and it crops quite significantly. We'll show you on that. Let's have a look. So if we go to 4K, we're at 60 frames. Right, there you go. You see that? So we're at 24 frames. And then we go to 30 frames, we're okay. Then go to 48 frames at 4K, and it crops in significantly. So 30 frames, it will zoom right out again, so you're getting the full sensor size. So that's something to be aware of. It does go up to 60 frames a second, and then it's got 5.4K at 30 frames a second. Let's try a bit of 5.4K, shall we? So we're just going to...
Not that any of your viewers will actually see that on YouTube.
But if you down sample to 4K, I bet that would look rather nice, actually. So I'm at 22 meters in height, which is enough to miss subjects. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. There we go. So there we go. Look at that. That actually looks amazing. That does look amazing. It really does. So at 27 meters high. Yeah, that's that. I've got to be honest, mate, I'm very impressed with that. Now, bearing in mind that is cropped in, so we're not that close. That is cropped in quite considerably. So yeah. So that is that one. So we'll stop that one. 5K at 30 frames a second is not cropped. So 5.4K at 30 frames a second is not cropped. Yet if you go into 4K at 48 frames a second beyond, then that is cropped. Okay, something to bear in mind if that really affects you at all. But in a drone, I can't see how that's going to affect you. You can just zoom out a little bit more, you know, take the drone out more, can't you? The video modes are 5.4K at 30 frames, 25 frames, 24 frames. It has 4K at 24 frames, 25, 30, 48. As we know, it crops in at that, and then 50 and 60 frames a second. It has 2.7K. Is that a waste of time? Yes, it is. And then we go to 1080, which you can have slow-mo, or you can go to 60 frames, all the way from 24 frames to 60 frames. And then go into your slow-mo section, which is up here, and that will give you slow motion. Click on that, and that will give you 120 frames a second at 1080, which is full HD. And that, my friends, is the Mavic Air 2 Mavic. Oh, let's start again, shall we? And that is the Air 2S. Let's do it again. And that is the Air 2S. Yes! I got it. Right, let's bring it home. Oh no, where is it? Let's get to home.
Go home.
Good job I know how to use that button, isn't it? It's coming home, Ross. It's coming home. Problem is, you set it at 150 metres high. Now, will it come home? This is a good feature. It's in the fog, I can hear it. Here it is. Here it is. It's going to land on my van roof. It can't see.
Landing.
I've got no hope.
You got no hope. It's right above my head, literally. Yeah, keep it there. You're about there, aren't you? There you go. Look at that. It's a coming home. What about? That might beep 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 a little bit because it's. No, it's fine, isn't it? Area aircraft unsuitable for landing. Okay, so go there. We are in normal mode.
Landing.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I've got to be honest, when I bought my Mavic Air 2, I found that to be such a fantastic, easy to operate drone, and one of the easiest I've ever flown. And that is no different. That is so easy. You just bring the stick down fully to land and it will just come down on its own. You don't have to do anything. You just step back and watch it. It is amazing. It is so easy to fly. That is an amazing piece of kit. So now we're going to go on to the Mavic Air 2. Right, we've got to hurry up with this one, guys, because if you look behind you, it's getting a bit foggy. You see me? No, I'm sure you can see me. Ross's video capabilities are slowing down a bit as we go along. I hope you forgive his shaking of his hand. It is quite chilly. Right, as before, we are going to go on to, we're going to start on 4K. Okay, so let's start on 4K, get on there, get on the video, go to normal. I'm going to do 4K, 60 frames a second. Yep, there you go. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to record that. And we are going to start flying. Check complete. Oh, that's the other thing, by the way, check complete, right? So make sure that all your blades are out and not folded up, because that would be silly. And you could ruin your drone. So here we go. So this is the flight of the Mavic Air 2.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
So I'm not going to go up immensely high. I'm going to go up around about 50 feet. And then we're going to go over to the lighthouse, where we can actually see it, so we're okay, but it is rather looking misty. I'm at evaluation 1. I need to come up off that and come up to normal, so that's better. So your evaluation EV is there, and you can adjust it on the slider as you've just seen there, so that's fantastic. That's a great idea. So this new app for the Fly app, it works extremely well. It's brilliant. So I'm just going to hover here and do exactly what I said, do exactly what we were doing before, and just hover here and show you the bits and pieces. So that itself is 4K. I'll stop videoing and we will go to HDR. That's the other thing. Okay, so HDR video. Okay, something that the Mavic S2
Air 2S.
Oh God. The Air 2S has not got. It has not got HDR mode in the videography side of it, which this has, of course. I don't know why that is.
You
Is it because of the sensor size again?
It shoots in D-log, so
shoots in D-log.
Benefit from your dynamic range.
Of course you are. Of course you are. So yeah, there you go. There's your answer to that. So that's that. So we stop that. So we go into slow motion, and slow mo, as we can see down here, is at 1080, 120 frames a second, or we can go to 240 frames a second. That's the slight difference that you've got between the Mavic Air 2 and the 2S. Did I say that right?
I think so.
No way. The Air 2S, yeah. Not fully, okay. Ed, you know, right. So that's the difference, okay? So they're the three sections. So you've got normal, you've got HDR, and you've got slow-mo. If we go to normal, you'll have 4K wide at 24 frames a second, all the way up to 60 frames a second. You've got 4K zoom. And now obviously 4K zoom is where you can pinch it and you can zoom in. You can zoom in on this like so, or zoom out. So you can see the 1x going all the way in to 2 times, or one out on the way out. In 1080 you get 4 times zoom. And then you get 2.7K all the way from 24 frames all the way up to 60 frames. I don't know anyone that would use that, to be fair. And then in 1080 you get 24 frames all the way up to 60 frames, and then you go into your menu at the top there, in that section there, and go down slow motion, and you get 1080 at 120 frames a second or 240 frames a second. Okay, so that covers the video. Now don't go into photos. I can't see how the hell I'm going to take a picture. Pro mode, which I actually don't want to be in. I want to be in auto. So there's auto. So let's get down a bit. I'm at 100. Landing? Did it say landing?
It did say landing.
We don't want landing, thank you.
Landing.
No, don't land, you pum.
Landing.
No. Right. Tell you what, we're going to bring that home.
Go home.
So we're going to bring this home because this is getting a bit dicey. What I'm going to do, I'll do it right here, actually. So I'll show you here. Vision system cannot detect tiny obstacles. Okay.
Your vision sensors have got fogged up in this.
Right. So what does that mean? Will it come home?
It should come home.
Yeah. It better do. Right, we're in fog now, so this is a bit of worrying. I can't hear it. Okay, so we're back home after a little frightful test in the fog. We are back. I went off the map, just so you know, because it is foggy now. It got a bit too much, and it has got really quite bad now. But I've got the drone back. So what I'll do, we'll go back to the pictures. And go back to the video of the pictures, and what we got is single mode, so we can take a single shot. So there you go, there's a single shot. We can go to 48 megapixels on this one. Did you have that on yours? You didn't, did you?
No.
And we got a smart mode, so the smart mode there, the auto bracketing mode, and we can go like that and get the auto bracketing mode. And then from that, if we go down, we have burst. So here's 7 bracketed shots. And then we have timed shot. So we can have a timed shot as well. So you can have a 10-second shot. That's something you had as well, actually. So you had a timed shot. So let's do that. And we can go, yeah, baby, yeah. For 10 seconds. There you go. So I suppose you would use that if you wanted a group shot. Come on, everyone, you've got 5 seconds left. Oh no! Oh no, I'm doing it again. Quick, pose. No, not that pose, that pose. No, that pose. Do Mooney. Yeah, baby. Lovely old job. Right, stop it. So that'll carry on. So I just took 2 time shots there. Sorry about that. I had a mad moment. So there you go. So there is that. And that does it in JPEG or RAW. And let's have a look at that. Let's get off that time mode. It's mad. And so that is everything on there, on the photo side of things. So that's quite cool. And then of course you have the quick shot, which we can't do here. And then you have a timed section there as well, set shooting the parameters and blah, blah, blah. And then you keep going down, you get panoramic. So we will do a panoramic because I thought that was quite important that we do. Make sure it's all clear. So we do a normal panoramic. I shouldn't have moved then. So you might see 2 of me.
One of Ian is more than enough.
Oh, I don't know. How dare you? Well, it's clearing up, look. So there you go, doing all of its shots. And can you see how quick that is compared to yours?
It's quicker.
It's quicker, isn't it? And I think that's purely just because the fact that you've got a bigger sensor than I have.
Everything.
Yeah. So bigger sensor, giving more, making it slower, of course, because you've got double the information to process. Okay, so that was the world one, and then we have that. So that was the sphere. Okay, so you can make a sphere out of that. So that's quite cool. I'll show you later. Now, and we've got the 180-degree panoramic, which is a very wide panoramic. I bet stay still for this one for a long time. However, it's going through that quick, isn't it? Compared to, do you remember your one?
Yeah.
It's quite reasonably slow. But like I say, I think you need the speed on this because it's taking so many shots. So you get that cloud movement,
Yeah.
and that stitches it together. Surely you're going to have some deep, some dodgy bits in the shot, aren't you? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Depends on how the clouds are moving, of course. And of course, if you've got lots of people in the shot and they're all moving around, so I'd imagine that'd be a bit of an issue. Right, so this is the next panoramic we got here, which is just a nice, simple, wide angle. It's quite mad how it actually takes the photos. And that's it, 73, and it'll tell you the percentage, and it's all done, see? Nice one. And then we got a vertical, so let's go for the vertical shot. A simple 3-shot vertical. And there we have it. There we have it. And that is all the photo modes. There's certain similarities, lots of similarities between the two Mavics, and there are just a few little tweaks on the Mavic Air 2 that you don't have on the new one, but you do get that nice big sensor, which makes up all of the stuff that you don't get, if that makes sense. And I can guarantee, by looking at your footage and looking at my footage, I would say, I mean, we done some flying earlier on, so we're going to show some of that. Well, Ross, what do you think, bud?
I think it's cold.
Yeah, good job I got a heater in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what that noise is, by the way. So if you can hear a fan going like crazy, that is the heater going on. But is there anything that I missed there, do you think? Or is that, would you say that covered it?
I think in less than perfect conditions, that was...
Less than perfect
Yes.
conditions, yes.
I think maybe we have to do that again when... it's a shame, because the conditions before that fog really came
Oh,
in
that was
were good.
amazing. They were amazing conditions.
So I'm sure the viewers will have a look at that footage.
Oh,
that
God,
was
yeah.
captured there.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
And some of the photos of the sundog.
Yep.
I've never seen a sundog from above the clouds before.
I've never seen one in person at all.
Let you enjoy this little montage of the Mavic Air 2 and the Air 2S, yes, the Air 2S and the Mavic Air 2. Fantastic! What a tongue twist! Wow.
You can see why they dropped the Mavic, can't you?
You can, yeah. Oh my God, man. Anyway, fantastic. Thank you very much for coming, Richard, Ross, Richard. Both
Begins
R's.
with R, yeah.
Yeah, begins with R. See, all tongue twisted today. Lovely to see you, buddy. It feels like yesterday that I saw you.
It was yesterday, yeah.
Oh, was it?
But you know what?
What?
It's been a lovely old job.
Yay! And we'll leave it there, and we will look at all this lovely footage. Bye for now, guys. Bye, Ross. Thank you very much.